Hi Throneheads. I've absolutely been sweating this game as a free-to-play player over the last week or so, and due to the quantity of similar questions I'm getting on both my Twitch and from guild members in-game, I thought I'd create a checklist of things you should absolutely be doing once you hit 50 per day. Now, as a quick precursor, you do not have to do the majority of these daily. You can let them build up in order to grind them in one big wallop. However, there will be caps to a lot of them listed below, i.e. you can let them build up for a week, or 10 days, or 6 days, but at some point you'll be losing efficiency by not doing them. The first item we're going to talk about, and maybe one of the most important, is Dimension Co-op Dungeons. Now, at level 50, you'll be gaining 900 tokens per day. At lower levels you'll gain less, but let's presume you're already at 50. At level 50, you will gain 900 dimension tokens per day. This will translate to being able to open the boss loot, the final chest, of 3 dungeons per day. If we go to this menu here, you look at co-op dungeons, you go to any level 50 dungeon, you'll see it reward claim requirements 300. So what does that mean? At 900 per day, that means you can open 3 dungeons per day, with the maximum cap, as you see here, being 4,500, which means 15 dungeons, or 4,500 over 900, 5 days. So you have 5 days, essentially, or a 5-day gap, to make sure that you clear all of those dungeon tokens in order to make sure that you're not being inefficient. Now, these dungeons will provide upgrades for your character. For instance, if you look at my character, this sword and shield is from a dungeon. This praise is from a dungeon, as well as providing materials, mastery tiers, and will also give you 500 Abyssal Tokens, which we're going to get onto. Abyssal Tokens are used to farm open world dungeons, such as Seleus Abyss, if we look over here, or the Shadowed Crypt, or the Ant Nest, or ones that aren't even out yet, for instance, the Sanctum of Desire, which comes out tomorrow. These tokens, up here, as you see, will be consumed when you kill mobs that are aggroed to you. That's to say, you or your party tags the mob first. I'll have a little example on the screen here. That loot drop is yours, regardless of who kills it. Now, this is much superior to open world farming, as generally the drop tables are better. You will get a Solian and gold boost, as well as a percent chance boost. If you farm mobs in the open worlds with an item on them, the chance of you getting that item is extremely low compared to, say, if you were farming an item on the drop table of these open world dungeons. The maximum cap of these tokens are 20,000. So if you're anywhere near that point, which you probably will be getting to if you've not been doing them, and if you've been doing your co-op dungeons, or if you've been doing your contracts, which we're going to get onto, you should really be looking into what upgrades you can get from open world dungeons and which mobs to look from them, as well as forming a party, or even just saying LFG inside a dungeon or in Party Finder, in order to farm these points and not go over this cap. If you hit 20,000, obviously any contracts you do, you're not gaining maximum efficiency from those contracts. There are also Abyssal contracts, if we look here, which, in the interest of keeping this short and concise, I'm not going to go into right now, but if you're interested in me explaining what to do with them, the loot from them, how to check the loot from them, just let me know. And finally, onto the third daily, in inverted commas, per day, you will have contracts. Stop yapping to me. You will get... Okay, she's flirting with me. Relax. You will get 10 contracts per day. So you see here, contract rights, you see? 34 out of 60, you will get 10 of these per day. As you see, there's a maximum cap of 60, and you can do 5 at once. You should really be looking to do at least 10 every day or 30 every few days. I hate these, so I do just big bulks of them every couple days so that you stay on the curve. Otherwise, you will be losing efficiency. If you're capped out at contracts, you're losing a mass amount of efficiency. Now, why is that? These provide, as you see, let's just look at this one, 50 Abyssal Tokens, which isn't to be sniffed at. Mastery tiers, just like the co-op dungeons. Now, you're going to need a fucking lot of these, so any chance you can get them is very good. They'll always provide Solient, right? Contract coins, which we're going to go into a little bit later when I go over the purchases. And they have the potential of a random material. They always give the rare magic powder, but they've got a chance of a random material. As you see here, it's rubrics ore, base material chest, polished crystals. Now this, I was hoping to get lucky. This random material could also be a precious bag, which I will also cover in the following section. So these are essentially your classic MMO dailies. With the upside, you can choose when and where to do them, which quests you do. The main advice I would give you is you must do them from the following 3 locations. I'm at one, Kanina Village. We also have Pure Light Tower and Watcher's Post. The reason I say these 3 locations is because they give the level 50 contracts, which, as you can see here, are more efficient than the level 46 to 49 contracts. I'm not sure if you can get the precious bags from 46 to 49, but you're getting 2 less powder, you're getting 1 less tier, you're getting the same amount of materials, but you're getting less money too. So please do grind them in these 3 locations, or you will lose out on mastery points, which I'm telling you now, they're a fucking grind. They're a serious grind. So, onto the final and maybe most important to make sure if you really want a daily checklist, what you should be doing daily, items, are purchases. Now, there's a few different vendors you should be going to. I personally like Stoneguard Castle, so you can follow my route if you like. Now, the first vendor you should be going to is the Contract Coin Merchant. As you see, a lot of these items have daily limits. Some have weekly, and these are really important items too, but for now I'll just talk about the daily. Imperatively, I would recommend, with your contract coins, buying the Precious Blessing Pouch. Now, what does this have a chance to give you? It can give you a random purple, it can give you materials, it can give you the Abyssal Contract Scrolls that we were talking about earlier. They are really good, because especially if you're trying to earn Solent, free to play like me, you get a purple with a good drop, a good trait even. You're able to trait extract that trait, put it on the auction house, and you get 1 per day. Also on the Contract Coin Merchant, this is the only place you can get Mystic Keys, which you need to open Mystic Globes, which you find across the map. This is one of the weekly rewards as well, so it is something you want to be doing, and that, again, gives you good rewards, gives you trait extraction stones. If you've got ink left over, I wouldn't sniff at buying parchment or rubrics. These are, or any of these really. These are all things that you're going to be using a lot of as you start to level up your character and your gear. And this is a very useful place to pick them up. If you're also into fishing, this is definitely something you should be purchasing. It's only 20 contract coins, and fishing bait otherwise is quite hard to get. You get some pretty poor bait, but with the fish that you pull up with this, you can dissolve that into different baits. So this is something, if you're looking into fishing, this is a necessity. The next vendor I would go to is the Guild Merchant vendor. Now, a lot of these items are capped to being a level 10 plus guild, but really, if you're trying to sweat and enjoy this game to the max, your guild likely is level 10 plus. One thing I'm constantly reminding my guildies to get are the rare recovery crystals. These are the best potions in the game. There's not many places you can get these, but you can get 10 a day here. Please buy them every day. You'll get a lot of these coins just from playing the game with your guild. You 100,000,000% want to buy the precious base material selection chest. You get 3 a day. These are such hard materials to find otherwise, and this is 3 for free. I also buy the 10 of the blue versions, as well as the polished crystals, just because they're hard to get. So you've got a chance of getting 4 per day, why not? Last but not least, we have the Sundries merchant. Now, I do a bit of cooking myself. You see here, I enjoy my cooking, and one thing you'll notice if you're a cook is eggs, rye, and honey have a daily limit. These are all important cooking materials, especially honey. So if you want to be able to cook as much as possible, even if you're not planning to cook right then and there, just buy out the daily limit. On a side note, the weekly limit, you should 100% buy as many of these as you can per week. So in the interest of time, while there's other things that maybe you should be doing per day but aren't capped or you're not going to lose efficiency on, I'll leave it there. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you're interested in this kind of content, please do let me know. I'm going out on a limb and doing some Throne and Liberty content here, but I hope this helps you out. I know I'm going to send it to my guildies because they ask very similar things all the time, and I've really been diving quite deep into this game, so if you're interested in guides on how to trait cheaply, how to achieve, it's not the best in the world, but a pretty solid gear score as a completely free-to-play player, bar the Battle Pass, I'm happy to give everything that I've learned onto you guys, so please do let me know if you enjoyed this video. And other than that, I hope you have a wonderful evening.